Welcome to the Nostalgia Hunters. I'm Chris, your host. I have Dustin from the Harry Man Show.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Ooh-wee.
We're here to talk about the season finale of The Mandalorian.
I'm not going to cry about it either.
I've seen lots of cry faces.
You're crying. I'm not crying.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
I don't think it was sad. I think it was just...
It was awesome. It's what it was. It's not anything that anybody should be crying about or anything like that. It was epic. A great ending to a great season. A lot of people were talking about how the show was going to be a crappy second season. It wasn't going to stand out like it was. I was totally floored from episode 1 to this season finale.
All right. Well, before we get to the end, let's backtrack. Going into it, we knew it was a rescue mission.
Obviously, yeah.
So, I mean, now one thing, they did make a solid plan, I believe. But I kind of see where a certain character had a dip before another one showed up, and I don't want to touch the end because that would have been a conflict.
You want to touch on that right now?
No, we'll get there. But that was a big deal to me because those two obviously have a history, but I'm getting too ahead of myself. But
conflict of interest.
Yeah. So Bo-Katan kind of pulled through, but kind of biatch about it. But
everybody played their part in this episode. It was awesome. It was like it was just perfect. It was you couldn't ask for more from a team aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody had their role. Everybody knew their role, and they executed flawlessly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
now we got more of a lore of, for the planet Mandalore. I mean, now we have a little bit of an understanding of what it's about for the general public.
Well, if you watch the Clone Wars, which you kind of slacked off on a little bit, I understand.
Yeah.
But you would know that, or even in Rebels too, you would know the history of Mandalore and what the Darksaber represents in that regard.
Well, that's a New Year's resolution, 2021. Watch Rebels, the Clone Wars. Done and done.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. It is.
I just can't get over the Jar Jar Binks thing. The first season or two,
it's barely in there, man. I'm telling you.
Barely. He just shows up, and does the same thing every time.
Well, meet that.
Whatever, man. Changed my mind, I guess.
You'll be all right. You get through the Jar Jar crap, and you'll be fine.
Okay.
He's a Star Wars staple.
Duly noted.
I like it.
I'll allow it.
You can't have Star Wars without Jar Jar, man. I'm telling you.
I understand, but we're getting off track here. But honestly, you're saying there's more lore that's already been presented with Bo-Katan and
absolutely. You'll see what Mandalore is all about. Watching Clone Wars and following up with the Rebels.
Now, is Mandalore an occupied planet, or is it still kind of in chaos?
I think it's a barren planet right now still.
And are they a human kind of race, or
they're
no? Are Mandalorians primarily humans?
They're human. Yeah, I haven't seen a different race at all. Different Mandalorian race at all.
But wasn't there rumors that everyone thought the child was going to be a Mandalore? I mean, wasn't that kind of like the thing?
Well, yeah, a foundling. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he'd stick around a little bit. Obviously, there was a change of plans.
Yeah, that was kind of swung out of left field pretty fast.
Well, you knew something was going to happen towards the end here.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was going to be that, but surprise, surprise.
So, do you think the Mandalorian are religious people in a sense? Like, because it seemed like there's waves of cult and kind of in their origins and stuff.
I don't really see any kind of religion within.
But you remember she made a comment like his way is the old ways of having to wear the mask.
Yeah. I don't think that has anything to do with religion per se. I just think
that's not what I meant. I just meant like a belief, like
culture.
Yeah,
a culture. Yeah, I see culture. Yeah, definitely. In every race in Star Wars, there's a certain amount of culture for each different race that we learn about and we watch.
And this way, we kind of actually saw a dialogue with Moff Gideon, I think, for the first time. Like, I mean, because everything up to this point was more just like quick snippets of him like throwing commands out there.
Yeah, very interesting. The conversation between him and the Mandalorian and everybody else in the bridge too. Towards the end, that was it was good to see more dialogue. It was good to see what kind of what he's about.
Yeah, he's evil. He's sinister. I mean,
absolutely.
But he kind of won a small victory in his way. I mean, because
how so?
He knew he couldn't take out the Mando. I mean, he knew that.
What would you define as a small victory?
He knew that if Mando won him in battle by combat, then what's her name would have to fight him for the sword.
Oh, the trickery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a victory for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So in that regard, Bo-Katan, her conversation when Mando entered the bridge with Moff Gideon kind of looked like it was a setup situation, sort of. I don't know if anybody caught that, but he kind of hinted that it wasn't supposed to go down that way, or she kind of hinted that it wasn't supposed to go down that way. Maybe she was a little upset that she didn't get to fight him.
Well, is she really rightfully to the heir? I mean, rightfully so, is she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's basically the heir to Mandalore.
Okay, so I want to back up though, because when they went to that cantina to ask her for help, what are your beliefs on him not being an actual Mandalorian, Boba Fett? Because I mean, he didn't take the age acceleration genes there.
Well, he's not a clear Mandalorian, obviously.
But he genetically is.
Genetic.
But
yeah.
I never really thought about that. When you think about it, the whole clone army is genetically and that's probably why they cloned Jango Fett in the first place.
Well, it was a deal. You know, you sacrifice you offer your DNA, and then we'll give you this kid as a reward for your.
Yeah, the warrior DNA, I guess.
For your patronage.
It's just weird how it comes full circle, because you think of the movie Clone Wars and you kind of like brush over it. As a kid watching that movie, you didn't really understand the politics at the time.
For me, that conversation at the cantina was kind of weird, because Boba's a clone, but hearing them hear a Mandalorian address it as such, kind of was like, wow, this, he really is.
So do you see Mando a white hat or a black hat? No. Do you think him as a good guy or a bad guy?
Well, I guess it just depends on the situation. They're gonna do whatever they have to do to represent their culture and to build their culture back to prominence.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they got to get their hands dirty, then so be it.
Mm-hmm. So going forward, obviously as the episode goes, he what's the name of the droids he released? The black droids.
Oh shoot,
we're blanking out here. So as Mando was struggling with one.
Right.
And he just got lucky with that lever at that point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because it would have been game over.
Getting his face pounded in, basically. You know?
And that was another misconception too, because it had us thinking that was what they were using DNA to clone like Sith supers or something like that. It was being very vague in episode 4 or 5.
What do you mean?
Because remember
you thought they were using the clone bats?
No, because remember, like at the end of one of the episodes where it had like that failed looking body.
Yeah.
And do you think that still correlates to the DNA from the child? Do you think that's still part of that?
I think it has a lot to do with it. Yeah,
okay, because they kind of tied the droids to that, and I thought that was like the successor of the DNA.
I think what you'll learn in the future, or future seasons of Mandalore, or even future seasons of these other setups of branch off episodes of.
Oh yeah, they had they invited a lot of new characters in this season.
So I think you'll start to learn that maybe that DNA from the child was used, on Snoke, maybe on.
I agree with the Snoke thing. Yeah. Now was Snoke just they're just trying to make a Sith Lord with Snoke?
They're just trying to.
Because after episode 8, he really didn't serve
he did have the Force, though. He had the Force power, so I'd love to know how a clone was able to entertain the Force. Because if you notice, I think in Force Awakens, didn't he even in Last Jedi, didn't he exude some sort of powers?
Yeah, I think so. I have to watch it again. Dreadfully.
Dark Troopers is what we were trying to remember earlier.
Okay, so obviously as that battle goes on, that was pretty cool. The Beskar spear kind of played its role.
The helmet held up.
Yeah, that was kind of intense too. Imagine getting hit by that and just.
Oh, you would have been dead.
No, I'm just saying. Imagine the shock when you're in the helmet.
Oh, you don't even know if there's any padding in there.
I don't think it's like luxury, but
it's like a football helmet.
So after that, obviously he has some success, but then the standoff. What did you see happening when they were like backed up in the bridge, though? What was your thoughts when the troops were kind of cornering them at that point?
I'm gonna be honest a little bit. It kind of set it up for something big to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Did I think it was gonna be as big as it was? Heck no.
No, it could have been another opportunity to do another spinoff character. We were discussing. I really thought Mace Windu was far off, in my opinion.
So I think the person that showed up, I think you'll start to see him randomly in the other Star Wars stories.
I believe so, but I think this is his. I don't think. You think they'll do a spinoff of Luke?
No.
Because
No.
I think they would introduce an actor playing that role. Because
No, what I think is he'll be a random character in different seasons.
now, okay, so since we're going there, we saw the X-wing. Was that your first thought?
Kinda. I mean, who else would it be really? Who can take on the dark the dark troopers handily? By
Well,
the
as
way.
soon as I saw the green lightsaber, that's when I was like, all right, that's that.
Yeah.
And we were talking about his force powers. He did have a little dark side stuff going on there.
I mean, yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, stuff
He was.
that was kind of prohibited by the the Jedi. He was doing the crushing, the choking, but they are droids though.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess there's a stipulation in the Jedi training to where you can use certain things not on humans but on droids. It's okay to do that.
One thing I think they did right. He did like the slower lightsaber fighting too. That was kind of in the first trilogy.
You don't think it was slow motion on purpose just to set up the scene with the opening the doors, him coming in?
I don't know. I just think obviously there's a lot of different types of dueling compared to the first trilogy and the second trilogy.
That's true. That's true.
So I like how they kind of honored the Return of the Jedi. Kind of.
I love how they had that Darth Vader Rogue One aspect when he opened the doors.
Yeah, I mean they kind of went full circle there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
But this is the beginning of Luke's career as starting the Temple, and he's taking on Ben Solo as well.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to talk about. What do you think? You think
but they never really mentioned if Ben Solo killed everybody, did they?
I'm pretty sure in the comics, I think it was mentioned that he did execute all his Jedi people.
Then that's where Grogu went,
Uh,
and that's how they closed the book before the the latter trilogy.
It sucks. If that's the way it goes, it sucks. But I'm gonna hold out hope that some people escape from the temple. I just wishful thinking, I guess, on my part.
Yeah, but I thought, who knows? I'm not even gonna try to guess because it kind of gets depressing.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe they will do a show about the Jedi Academy. That'd be interesting.
Well, then they could tie it in doing like a Ben Solo show, a young Ben Solo.
Right. Yeah. Definitely, that'd be interesting.
I just can't get over the CGI thing. I look good. I'm not saying it looked perfect, but I'd rather see a full actor play like look like him.
Yeah, you could have went with I guess that Sebastian Shaw dude.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks like Luke a little bit. But,
A little bit.
Well, a lot of it. But I mean, the CGI worked. I think for what it was.
Now they
set
lucked
up
out
to
with
do.
Boba Fett because they got aged perfectly from Jango Fett to Boba Fett. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was almost like it was meant to happen that way.
Yeah, it's crazy how that fit.
Yeah, so that was the easy one for him.
So why do you think Fett jetted off before everything went down?
That's what I want to talk about. Yeah. I don't think he knew Luke was coming. Obviously.
Yeah.
I think he just served his purpose, and that was his debt.
Right, I agree with that.
So, but if he would have stuck around, hypothetically, say, do you think there would have been a conflict between Luke and Boba?
Hell yeah. I think Luke knows what Boba did.
Well, he doesn't know Boba's alive, though.
No, he doesn't know he's alive, but he knows what he did. I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah, obviously, I agree with that. I mean, he still probably has some grief, or he screwed over Solo, his sister. I mean,
oh yeah, there's definitely some animosity towards Fett if he knew he was alive.
yeah, and obviously he just pushed him in the pit, and that was that.
Yeah. So I think eventually he'll find out he's alive, and then maybe a conversation or some action might be taken.
But he would have easily took Boba, though. I mean, like what he did to those droids compared to what Boba. I mean, Boba would have been more of a challenge, obviously human, but no, they would have like.
That wouldn't even be. That'd be a no contest.
Yeah. Now, do you think when he got to the bridge, do you think Mando knew instantly what he had to do, or do you think he was still kind of like? No, he did seem like he was pretty like.
Are you talking about when Luke actually got to the bridge?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think he knew. Well, he asked him like, "Are you a Jedi?"
Well, obviously.
And he was like,
Oh, they weren't. Oh, they were seeing the screen though.
"What do you mean?"
Oh, the only one that was looking at the screen was the baby, though.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
and what do you think he was doing on the screen? He was admiring it, or
I think he was excited at the possibilities. Maybe he even knew
who he was?
who he was.
No, because
or
he's the
what
same.
he was.
No, he's the same age as Anakin.
He is. Yeah, definitely.
So you gotta think they were in that Jedi temple in Episode 3 together.
I think so.
No,
We just never knew about. Obviously, we never knew about Grogu.
So somehow he escaped Anakin's slaying at the time.
Well, somebody took him out. You know, that was said.
You think it was oh no, it wasn't Ashoka because we know now.
No, maybe it was Yoda. Maybe who knows? Maybe it was Yaddle. Who knows?
That's kind of a big story right there, as it is too.
Well, I'm sure it'll get fleshed out, whether it be in the show or the comic books.
Now, when he was handing it over, did you think it was going to be more sad than that, or do you think it was going to be?
I think it was the right amount of sadness from both parties. You can see that Mando was really shook up a little bit. He even took off his helmet, which was crazy.
So, do you think that's a thing for him now, or do you think he's?
Well, we were talking about it earlier. I think he's going to loosen up on his the way, you know, and follow his own heart.
Well, he's literally the leader of Mandalore now.
Essentially, yeah.
I mean, he literally calls it. I don't know the lore of the roles, but he literally can.
So here's my thing a little bit right now. In Rebels, you see Sabine Wren give Bo-Katan the Darksaber without a fight. Okay, just hand it over. This time, when Moff Gideon explains the rules of the Darksaber and how the ruler of the Mandalore earns the Darksaber, you know, Bo-Katan was like, he's right. I cannot accept it. And then they talk about, you know, Mando's like, just take it. It's yours. You know, I don't want it. And so they get through with the episode, and the Mandalorian, Din still has the Darksaber. So potentially he's the current ruler of Mandalore.
Well, we should go revisit that because I have to say that Mandalorian's been 100% on point with the, you know, what's happened before it. There hasn't been any gray area too much, you know.
That's the only gray area with the Darksaber that I can think of right now.
And was that since the beginning of Mandalorian, or I mean, like Mandalore was that Darksaber? As
far as I know, in between Clone Wars and the Rebels and what we've currently seen on TV right now, yeah. That's all I got. That's why I'm saying you should go back and check up on the Clone Wars and see.
I will, definitely. But when he handed the child over, it didn't seem like Luke was as babying to the child as much. Do you think that?
I think he was more welcoming.
Yeah, but he kind of made him walk on his own. He wasn't carrying it. I mean, do you think it's more like he kind of snapped more into his Jedi training? I kind of saw it like right away.
Absolutely. Fall in line. Let's go.
Yeah, and then R2-D2 showed up.
That was cool.
That kind of put it together, and he recognized the droid.
Yeah, my whole thing was like, where the hell was he at when he was walking through the whole?
He was on the ship. He was
he just pops up out of nowhere, right?
Well, R2-D2, I think Star Wars is told in the eyes of R2-D2.
Yeah.
I mean, you really think about it, he's everywhere.
Their interaction was really cool. It was really touching.
Yeah, and I kind of see there's going to be a relationship built there as well.
Like R2 was like, "Come on, little guy, let's go, let's go start the academy."
All right, so obviously that was the end, the Big Bang. Spoilers, whatever. I mean, we all kind of saw it coming, but after the credits, what do you think?
It was freaking epic. What more could you ask for going into another Star Wars series?
Well, do we know it's another Star Wars series, or we know that's a continuation of The Mandalorian?
I don't think it's a continuation. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Book of Fett will be a standalone movie.
And so you think he's going to be the head gangster of the underworld, pretty much?
Absolutely.
You think he's going to take
that up? He took Jabba's palace.
Yeah, but you think he's going to take the Jabba's approach, or you think he's going to be more of a, rifle?
I would say like a Robin Hood. What do you think?
I don't know, because his character seemed like he was a good guy. He didn't really want to fight unless he had to.
Yeah, I would say Robin Hood aspect a little bit. You know, take care of the people.
So you think Mandalorian's continuing?
Absolutely, yeah. I think you'll see a more centered focus on the Mandalore as a world and as their culture and everything like that. I think you're going to see a lot more of that kind of stuff.
Now, the child being taken away from its father figure, do you think that's going to resemble some dark side stuff again?
Again, like I said, I think in the last episode, I think we're going to see maybe, hopefully, a little dark side action next time we see, Grogu.
Because it's a little bit of a repeat there. I mean,
well, he's been through some traumatic things, you know.
Well, he's not as strong as Anakin. Obviously, no one was.
Well, the Yoda species are actually really strong forces.
But Anakin was
that we've seen.
Anakin was the second coming, pretty much.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out.
Mace Windu was actually stronger than Yoda, as far as Mandalorian.
Yeah, his fighting style was a lot.
And that's why I read that Mace Windu was so bitter to Anakin all the time because he felt like he was the.
Oh, I think I heard about that before too. What? Who?
I had to look back, but that's why he was the purple saber, and I'm not getting this right, but he was in the middle. He wasn't like either on each side. He was kind of considered a great Jedi.
Okay, all right.
So is Ashoka, right?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. I do hear a little rumblings, and I don't know if it's true. There might be a Mace Windu series or some not any future. I think it's like a prequel type setup.
I can see Samuel L. Jackson doing like a limited series.
I know he's dying to come back. I know that.
Well, he told George Lucas like anytime, like
yeah, just let me get in there.
No, I can see like doing like a 10-episode part with him and tying his story up, but trying to make like a 10-season show on it would kind of like just do it just to do it kind of thing.
Yo, give us a like if you want to see Mace Windu back in the Star Wars continuity. You know?
Smash that like button.
Smash it.
No, but do you think they're overdoing it, Disney, or do you think they're? Well, obviously to me they're not overdoing it, but you can go on Star Wars till the day we die. But
didn't you like how the Avengers and Marvel built their brand up like that?
But you think they knew that was going to happen?
No, but I'm just saying, didn't you like that?
Oh yeah, obviously.
Awesome, right?
Yeah.
So let's see that in Star Wars, and let's just see where it goes, because nobody's tired of Marvel right now. And I don't think anybody will ever get tired of Star Wars.
No, that will go on, like I said, till we are old and gray and whatever.
I agree.
So, I mean, I just think there's going to be a lot of lore to, like, catch up on all the time. Like, I'm all for it.
One step at a time. That's what we're just going to see these episodes pile out and just see how it goes.
So, yeah, to the future, and we'll have a lot more to talk about. You know, obviously we'll have a hiatus from The Mandalorian right now, but as we go with the channel, I'd like to do more video game reviews and movie reviews and stuff.
Yeah, I'm all for the video games, and also want to do. Marvel's going to be releasing some shows, and I would love to cover that stuff and any other pop culture things that you guys want to hear about or us to go ahead and speak about. Please leave it in the comments.
What's the best way to reach us? Straight through Facebook or?
Yeah, you can reach us on Facebook. We're also on Instagram, also on YouTube too. Any three of those outlets, you can catch us out there.
And we're always looking for guests too, as well.
Yeah, if you're interested in coming on the show, drop us a line. Let's do it.
All right. So for this episode, we'll look forward to seeing you guys next time.
All right, guys. Have a good one.